Thanks for tuning into the channel. And today I'm going to be talking about Turo, how they made some changes when it comes to parking. And sorry, here's my dog Bodie. He jumped on my lap while I started recording. But yeah, we're going to be talking about Turo, some of the changes that came to parking. I wanted to make this video because it does affect me, because all my bookings for Turo is the airport. I can no longer charge guests. So I'm going to talk about how why that would affect me and the changes that I'm making to see if I can still be profitable. Now, if you could do me a big favor, I really would appreciate it. Smash the like button if you end up liking the video. Forget to subscribe at the end if you enjoyed it. Also, check out the description box. I put a link in there of everything I use for Toro. So if you're thinking about joining the platform, or even if you are a Toro host already, you can see some of the things that I use, like my lockbox, no smoking stickers, even my car cleaning products, everything, right? That I use that's made my life easier on the platform that may help you. Go ahead and check it out. It's in that description box. Now, let's get into it. So, Toro recently has been making a lot of changes, and not just about parking, even other things. But today, I'm just going to focus on the parking. I do plan to make another video about some of the other changes, so let me know if you're interested in that. But yeah, so the way I do Toro, I've been a host on there for over 2 years. For those of you that are new to watching the channel, and I pretty much early on just focus all my business on basically coming from the airport. And what I would do is free parking. I would do free parking, but I would disclose in my description and to the guest that I am going to be charging parking, because some hosts they charge to deliver the car. And since I was doing the free delivery, I would charge them for the parking, because I didn't want to eat up that expense, because parking at the terminals right now it's about 20, it could be up to $24. If you do a surface lot, it could be 20. So a round trip can end up being anywhere from 40 to $48. And that's a big chunk of of my profits right there, depending on how long the booking is. So I had to make some big changes. I no longer do 1 days. I used to do 1 days on Toro, but because I can no longer charge the guests for the parking, because it'll be a violation, I could get fined or even banned off the platform. I changed the settings to now it has to be 2 days or longer to book with me. I'm charging delivery now. The only way you'll get free delivery is if you book the car for long term. So what I decided to do is do 5 days or longer. Now, these things as a host, you can choose. So you got to do the math. I'm doing the economical cars. Some people do higher end cars, so they may not charge even though you got to pay your parking. But since I do economic cars and they run anywhere from $40 to $50 per day, depending on the season, I can't do the 1 days anymore. It wouldn't make sense, right? If you book the car for 1 day, I'm only gonna make, for that 1 day, 40, $50. If I gotta pay the parking, then it wouldn't make sense, obviously. So I had to make some changes, and I have to charge now guests for the shorter term trips. I gotta charge them booking. Now, what used to really help me doing the free airport deliveries used to help me get a ton of bookings. So this is where it can affect me, right? I don't know how I'm gonna do now, right? How many bookings am I gonna get? Because before, when I used to charge delivery, I didn't get as much. And the reason I switched to free delivery was because I tried it out and started to receive a ton of bookings with the free airport delivery. And then obviously the guests would have to pay the parking, but I would disclose that to them. Now I can no longer do that. Luckily, with the changes I recently made on my page, I have been getting bookings. So I've still been able to get bookings and stay profitable, but this is early on. I don't know the effects long term. Now I know there's a lot of hosts that have quit doing Toro, because Toro is doing a lot of changes, but the changes that they do, it's just mainly for people to come book the cars. They're not really thinking of the host. That's how I feel. And I understand that Toro wants to make sure the customers that come on the platform and book cars, are not being abused and that they're happy. So positive word of mouth, good reviews, and they'll come back and spread the word, right? So you want to obviously provide good customer service, but you want to think about the host, because Toro doesn't just make money by, having people come on the page and renting cars. They make it off the host as well, because we're the ones putting the cars on the platform. So I feel like a lot of times lately they've been forgetting the host, and they've been making all these rules, that only are thinking they're only thinking about the customers, and they're not thinking about the host. So I'm gonna obviously continue to try to be successful on Toro. I enjoy being on Toro. I like the platform, but these are some new challenges. Now, that's my plan. With these changes, I decided to do this. So far, they're booking, but I don't know, long term how it's going to go. And I plan to make videos to keep everyone updated and letting you know how it's going. But so far, so good. And I am going to make a video on some of the new changes that Toro's made, so you can be aware of it if you're not aware. But the parking one, I want to talk about because that's a big one for me. I love to know your opinion. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about this, the parking situation. And I'm gonna go over some of the rules some of the updates. I'm gonna read them because I don't remember 100% off my head, but I'm gonna go over. Let me see. So the drop off and pickup. So where I live in the airport, and this may change when it comes to parking in the airport depending where you're from, but where I'm at, you can only park the cars if you're doing Toro in the surface lots, and it has to be Pacific 1 and 3, right? If those are full, you can use the economy. It has to be the south lot, and you can also use level 4 garage C if you reserve the on the MCO website. In-person change only at the Orlando Airport train station curbside. So they have very specific rules and they want you to abide by them. Prohibited actions. So dropping off and picking up vehicle in any on airport parking facility not listed above. Conducting in-person vehicle exchange at terminal curbside. Exchange parking tickets to avoid or reduce parking fees, directing guests to pay for parking or invoicing guests for incurred parking costs, failing to use the SunPass / ePass transponders for entry, exit, and improved parking lots. So you have to park in the improved parking lots, and you must direct guests to use the SunPass / ePass, whatever transponder type you have on your vehicle. If you don't abide by these rules, these are the consequences that you can face. So violation penalties, right? Each parking violation incurs is a fine of up to $250. So a pretty hefty fine, which is deducted from host earnings. Non-compliance risks suspension from delivering to MCO. Vehicle drop-off or pickups in unimproved locations are monitored by MCO license plate readers technology and will result in fines and suspension. So technically you can be suspended, not allowed to do airports anymore, and that's a big at least for me, that's where I make all the money doing this as a side hustle. And you could probably even be kicked off the platform. So obviously, I'm going to abide by the rules. And by abiding by the rules, I have to see if I'm going to be profitable. If I'm not profitable, I will definitely make a video later on, and I may have to quit the side hustle. But as of right now, that's not the case. But these changes definitely could affect my income. So far, again, like I said earlier in the video, I made the changes. So I'm doing the 2-day minimum. If your booking is less than 5 days, I'm charging for parking. If you're going to do a long term of a week or longer, I'm going to go ahead and waive that. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm still getting bookings. I was concerned because since I'm not always, but for a long time, I've done the free parking, and I've been I've been I get all my cars booked constantly. Like in a month, there's usually 30 days, and they're usually booked. Out of that 30, I have them booked 20 days out of the month, sometimes even more. But that's all been free airport, and it's all been coming out of airport. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is it free? Yes, I would charge them for the parking, but I would disclose that to them. Now, some hosts, what they do, they would charge like $100 to deliver the car to the airport, and they would still charge the gas for the parking. Some people were doing that. I wouldn't do that. I deliver it for free because I lived close, but I would charge the parking because I couldn't eat up that cost. Now that things have changed, those are the new settings. That's my new settings. So if you're a host and you like the settings that I'm using and you do airport, maybe that will work out for you. Let me know. If you're thinking about doing Toro, but you still haven't signed up, let me know what you think about this change. Now, some of you, it may not affect you because you may not do any airport. So if you're not going to do any airport, you don't have anything to do with parking, obviously this change is not going to affect you at all. But overall, Toro has done a lot of changes recently that's probably going to affect you in some aspect. And I'm going to make a future video about those other changes. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any questions, what you think. If you can do me a big favor, smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I really would appreciate it. And also check out that description box. See if any of the things that I use for Toro helps you out. I'll see you on the next one.